Hey everyone, welcome back. Big news before we dive in. Just launched a new YouTube channel, City Tales, where I'm dropping even more crazy stories. Go check it out. Smash that like button and subscribe. Links in the description. Okay, so let's get into it. Never thought my world would implode over something as simple as a phone call, but that's exactly how it went down. Jessica and I, 10 years. Solid as a rock, or so I thought. Marriage, trust, love, understanding. Yeah, we had the whole checklist. Brownstone in Brooklyn, stable jobs, future planned out. The whole 9 yards. Then, bam, one night, everything I knew, everything I believed, ripped away. Looking back, the signs were there, blinking red. But I was too blind, too trusting, maybe just plain stupid to see them. Started with late nights at the office. Once a week, then twice, then suddenly, almost every night. Deadlines, she'd say, laughing it off. Crazy projects. Sounded legit, so I bought it. Then the phone thing started. Always on silent, screen down, glued to her hand. Texts that made her grin, but she'd never share. New clothes, fancy perfume, lingerie I'd never seen before. Should have clicked, should have connected the dots, but I was clueless. Nothing, though, could have prepped me for that night. Jessica said girls' night out, dinner with her crew, kissed me goodbye, told me not to wait up, and bounced. Didn't think twice. Later, flicking through channels, half zombie in front of the TV, phone rings. Unknown number. Hesitated, almost skipped it, but something in my gut yelled, "Pick it up." "Hello?" Silence. Then a dude's voice, low, almost amused. "Hey, man, figured you should know. Your wife ain't at no girls' night." Body froze, grip tightened on the phone. "Who is this?" I demanded. "You don't know me," the voice kept going. "But I know Jessica. See her right now. Actually, she's at this fancy Italian place, candlelit dinner, real romantic. And guess what? It's not with you." Ears ringing, chest tight. "I don't believe you," I spat, voice shaky as hell. Black dress, red lipstick, sitting across from some guy in a blue shirt. They just ordered a bottle of Chianti. Breath caught in my throat. Black dress, red lipstick. That's exactly what Jessica was wearing when she left. Hands trembling, mind racing. Wanted to storm into that place, flip tables, scream, demand answers. But I didn't. Something stopped me. Instead, I stood up, grabbed my keys, walked out. But not to the restaurant. Drove straight to Home Depot. By the time she called, all confused, I was already done swapping out the locks. Finally answered. "Hey," she chirped, voice all breezy, like nothing was up. "Why you ignoring my texts?" Glanced at my phone. 3 unread messages. "Jessica, you there?" "Hey, heading home soon." "Mike, you still awake?" "Mike, why aren't you answering?" Took a slow breath, phone clenching in my hand. "Don't bother coming home." Long silence. "What?" she finally said, a nervous laugh escaping. "That's not funny." "Not joking." Her tone switched fast. Casual wife gone, replaced by something sharp, defensive. "What the hell does that mean?" "Means," I said, leaning against the kitchen counter, brand new locks gleaming in the dim light. I know exactly where you are and who you're with. Another pause. I have no idea what you're talking about. Humorless laugh. Come on, Jess, you can do better than that. Listen, she started, but I cut her off. You're at dinner. Black dress, guy in a blue shirt, ordered wine. Anything I miss? Silence. Heavy, thick silence. Could feel the panic creeping into her voice as she scrambled for an out. Who told you that? She asked, voice quieter now. Bitter smile. Oh, so you're not denying it? Just curious who ratted you out? Sharp exhale. This isn't funny, okay? I don't know who's feeding you lies, but I was with my friends. Clicked my tongue. Don't. Just don't. Babe, listen, I changed the locks. Breath hitched. Wait, what? You heard me. Change the locks. Don't bother coming home. You don't live here anymore. Then the screaming started. Name-calling, accusations of overreacting, threats. I'll call the cops, she shrieked. You can't just throw me out. This is my house, too. Actually, I said, calm as ice, it's not. My name's the only one on the mortgage. You moved in after we got married, remember? Which means, legally, you're a guest. And I just rescinded your invitation. Gasped like I'd slapped her. You can't be serious. Oh, I'm dead serious. Then came the bargaining, the desperation. Babe, please, let's just talk, okay? I can explain. Laughed. No, Jessica, you can't. And even if you could, I wouldn't listen. More silence. In the background, muffled voices. Her lover probably sitting right there, watching this whole thing unfold. Wondered what he was thinking. Did he realize the woman he was whining and dining had just lost everything? Then her final desperate card. I have nowhere to go, she whispered. A few hours ago, those words might have worked. Might have softened me. Made me think about 10 years. The love we once had. But not anymore. Jaw clenched. Not my problem. Hung up. She called again, and again, and again. Each time, I let it ring. Eventually, the calls stopped, turned off my phone, sat there in the quiet house, the house that was mine again. It was over. Or so I thought. Because Jessica wasn't the type to take defeat lying down. And this was just the beginning. No messages after all that screaming and panicking. Jessica had finally stopped trying to reach me. But I knew it wasn't over. Not by a long shot. Wasn't naive enough to think she'd just accept it and move on. Jessica was a fighter. Just not the kind that meant fighting for our marriage. She was the kind to fight against any consequence that didn't benefit her, and I was about to see just how far she was willing to go. First attempt. Close to midnight when I heard it. Car pulling up in the driveway. Footsteps, slow, hesitant. Then the rattle of the doorknob. Didn't even bother getting up, just smirked to myself, waiting. Seconds later, bang, fists pounding against the door. Open the door, Mike, Jessica's voice, raw with rage. No more fake sweetness, No more manipulation, just pure, unfiltered anger. Stayed silent, just listening. "I swear to God, Mike, you can't do this. I have nowhere to go," she yelled. Then a beat. Her voice dropped, something more desperate. "Babe, please, just let me in so we can talk." Almost laughed. The switch from fury to pleading was so predictable, so Jessica. But I wasn't falling for it. "Already told you," I said, loud enough for her to hear through the door. "You don't live here anymore." Silence. Then, "You're being ridiculous," she spat. "This isn't just your house. I have rights." "Actually," I said, standing up now, walking toward the door. "You don't." Pulled out my phone, opened the security cam app. Live feed popped up. Jessica standing on my porch, arms crossed, face twisted in frustration. "You're trespassing, Jessica," I said, calm as could be. "Leave now, or I'll have to call the cops." That hit a nerve. Face contorted even more with fury. Bitter laugh. "Oh, please, you wouldn't do that to me." Hovered my thumb over the emergency call button. "Try me." For a moment, she just stood there, breathing heavy. Then, without another word, stormed off. Watched her climb into her car, slam the door, and peel out into the night. Should have felt relief. But instead, just felt tense. Knew that wasn't the end of it. Jessica didn't give up. She regrouped, and sure enough, she had more tricks up her sleeve. Second attempt. Next morning, woke up to my phone buzzing like crazy. Groggy, reached for it, expecting another barrage of calls from Jessica. But when I looked at the screen, froze. 20 missed calls, 10 new voicemails, messages from mutual friends. And the first text I saw made my stomach drop. "Dude, Jessica's telling everyone you kicked her out and took all her stuff. What's going on?" Of course she would try to spin the story. Victim card, front and center. Scrolled through the messages. Some from friends we hadn't talked to in years. Suddenly all concerned about how heartless I was. Others from family, asking if everything was okay. Then there were Jessica's messages. "Mike, you are ruining my life. Mike, how could you do this to me after everything? Mike, everyone knows what you did. You're going to regret this. Mike, answer me, Mike." She was trying to control the narrative, paint herself as the victim. I sighed, rubbing my temples, could already see the fallout. Friends taking sides, family members reaching out, people making assumptions. And Jessica? She wasn't done yet. While I was dealing with the social media bomb, she was plotting her next move, and it was about to get way worse. By noon, phone was still buzzing nonstop. Mutual friends, co-workers, even distant relatives. Everyone had something to say. Barely had the energy to check the messages, but when I did, realized the situation was even uglier than I thought. Jessica wasn't just playing the victim. She was making me out to be the villain. "Can't believe you throw her out like that. She loved you, man. Why didn't you try to work things out first? Kicking her out was extreme. Jessica said you've been distant for months. Maybe she made a mistake, but you didn't have to humiliate her." Humiliate her? I nearly laughed. She was the one sneaking around, lying to my face. And somehow, I was the bad guy for not politely accepting the betrayal. Wasn't just texts either. Someone, probably Jessica, had posted about it online. Long, dramatic message about how her cold, heartless husband had changed the locks and left her homeless without a word. How she'd made one mistake and was kicked to the curb like trash. Of course, she conveniently left out the part about her ongoing affair. Stared at the post. Slow burn of frustration building in my chest. Could already see people eating it up. Comments flooded in, most blindly sympathizing with her. Some even calling me controlling, saying I trapped her in a marriage she clearly wanted out of. Insane. And it got worse. Unexpected visitor. Around 3 p.m. knock at my door. Hesitated. After last night, wasn't expecting company. Checked the security cam. Half expecting Jessica to be standing there again. Wasn't her. It was her sister, Sarah. That was unexpected. Sarah and I had always been civil, but never close. Seeing her on my porch, arms crossed, lips pressed into a thin line, set off alarm bells in my head. Opened the door, leaning against the frame. Sarah. She gave me a look that could cut through steel.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Sighed, already exhausted. You're gonna have to be more specific. Are you seriously locking my sister out of her own home? She snapped. She called me last night sobbing, saying you wouldn't even talk to her. Is that true? Rubbed my temples. Sarah, did she tell you why? She scoffed. She told me you had a fight. But kicking her out? That's insane, Mike. Humorless laugh. A fight. That's what she called it. Sarah's frown deepened. Mike, whatever happened, it can be fixed. You guys have been together for 10 years. Don't throw that away over one bad night. Felt something in me snap. Took a step forward, lowering my voice. Let me be very clear, Sarah. Jessica didn't just make a mistake. She didn't have one bad night. She's been lying to me for months. Sarah blinked, caught off guard. That's not what she said. Of course it's not. Sarah hesitated, then nodded slowly. I'll talk to her. Didn't bother responding. Just closed the door. Thought that would be the end of it. Wrong again. Because Jessica wasn't going to stop. Jessica wasn't the type to accept defeat. And sure enough, doorbell rang again. Sighed, bracing for another dramatic stunt. But when I checked the security cam, stomach clenched. Wasn't Jessica. It was a lawyer. The ultimatum. Opened the door, keeping my expression neutral. Mike? The man adjusted his glasses. That's me, I said, crossing my arms. He handed me an envelope. You've been served. Blood went cold. Took the papers, scanning the first page. Formal demand for re-entry. Jessica had gone nuclear. Wasn't just trying to guilt-trip me anymore. She was threatening legal action to force her way back into the house. Jaw clenched. This is ridiculous. Lawyer's face remained impassive. My client claims she was wrongfully locked out of her marital home. She has the right to access her belongings. Scoffed. Her belongings. She left with nothing because she was at dinner with her boyfriend. Lawyer didn't flinch. She's willing to settle this without escalation, but she will escalate if necessary. Exhaled sharply. Tell her she can pick up her stuff, but she's not living here anymore. He nodded. Then I suggest you prepare for a legal dispute. Watched him walk away, pulse pounding. This wasn't just about getting her things. Jessica wanted control. The plan. Wasted no time. Called my lawyer, laid out the situation. Can she force her way back in? I asked. Not without a court order, he reassured me. But don't take this lightly. She might claim spousal residency rights. The phrase made my stomach churn. Even though her name wasn't on the mortgage, she could still argue she had a legal right to live there. Needed to act fast. Called a locksmith, made sure every lock was reinforced. Then started gathering every piece of evidence I had. Texts, photos, call logs from the mystery informant. If Jessica wanted to play dirty, I was ready. But knew this wasn't over. Jessica wasn't just after the house. She wanted to destroy me. And she was about to make her next move, the ambush. Next morning, phone erupted with notifications. Calls, messages, and one alarming text from a coworker. Dude, check Facebook now. Stomach sank as I opened the app. There it was. Jessica had gone public. Posted a long, dramatic story about how she'd been thrown out of her home with nowhere to go by her controlling, manipulative husband. Painted herself as the victim. Devoted wife. Abandoned and humiliated by the man she'd loved for years. And people were buying it. Hundreds of comments poured in, offering sympathy. Friends, acquaintances, even some of my own family had taken her side. How could he do this? Jessica, stay strong. No woman deserves this. This is disgusting. Hope you get everything in the divorce. That last comment made me pause. Divorce? Jessica hadn't even mentioned divorce to me yet. But now she was fueling the idea publicly. And worse, she'd tagged my job. Her post ended with a final dagger. And after everything, he's still pretending like nothing happened. Mike, you may have locked me out of the house, but you can't lock me out of my life. Everyone will see the real you now. Fingers tightened around my phone. This wasn't just revenge. Jessica wanted to ruin me. Damage control. Knew better than to engage in a public brawl. That's exactly what she wanted. If I responded, I'd become the villain she was painting me as. So I took a different approach. Made 2 calls. First, to my lawyer. Jessica's slandering me online. Do I have legal grounds? You do, he said. But responding publicly will only make things worse. Stay silent. Let her burn herself out. Next, I called her sister Sarah. Second she picked up, I asked, You seen this? Sarah sighed. Yeah, she's spiraling. Can you talk to her? Get her to take it down. I'll try, she said. But Mike, she's not thinking rationally. She's lashing out because she knows she lost. Exhaled. She was right. Jessica wasn't fighting for our marriage, or even the house. She was fighting because she hated losing, the lost straw. That evening, unknown number called. Almost ignored it, but something told me to pick up. Mike, right? Yes. Who's this? Pause. I'm the guy who called you the other night. Breath caught. The informant. Hadn't expected to hear from him again. I have something you need to see, he said. Something that proves she's been lying about everything. What is it? I asked cautiously. I'll send it to your email, but be ready, man. This changes everything. Pulse quickened. What do you mean? She's not just playing the victim, he said darkly. She's been planning this for months. Call ended. Seconds later, email notification popped up. Opened it. What I saw made my blood run cold. Jessica hadn't just been cheating. She'd been plotting to leave me for him. But only after securing as much money and assets as possible. Never expected to get caught. And now that she had, she was flipping the script, clicked on the first screenshot. Jessica. He has no idea. I'll keep playing the devoted wife until the house is in my name. Other guy. Smart. You deserve half of everything. More, honestly. Jessica. Once I have what I need, I'll file and walk away clean. You won't see it coming. Hands clenched into fists. She hadn't just betrayed me. She'd orchestrated it. Every move calculated, and she was furious that I'd caught her first. Scrolled further, stomach twisting as I read more. Jessica. I'll make him look like the bad guy if he tries anything. I'll say he was abusive. Other guy. That'll work. People always side with the woman. Jessica. Exactly. I can get sympathy. Maybe even some extra cash out of him. Shut my laptop, breathing uneven. This wasn't just a betrayal. This was war. So that was her endgame. She hadn't gone public because she was hurt. She hadn't done it because she wanted to come home. She'd done it to set me up. This wasn't a messy breakup. This was war. The confrontation didn't hesitate. Picked up my phone, called her. She answered immediately. Oh, now you decide to talk. Cut the crap, I said coldly. I know everything. She scoffed. Oh, do you? What did one of your little friends tell you? Another story? No. Opened my laptop again, scrolling through the evidence. I have the receipts, Jessica. Every text, every plan, every lie you told. Silence. Then a forced laugh. I don't know what you're talking about. Chuckled. You really think you can gaslight me? I have proof that you were planning to screw me over long before I changed the locks. That's ridiculous. Shut up. My voice was dangerously calm. I have the messages, Jessica. The ones where you talk about faking abuse. The ones where you brag about how I wouldn't see it coming. Another beat of silence. Then, for the first time, her voice cracked. Who sent them to you? That's when I knew she wasn't denying it anymore. Just wanted to know who betrayed her. Smirked. Wouldn't you like to know? Her breath hitched. Mike, I can explain. No, you can't, I interrupted. And I don't care. Let that sink in before continuing. Voice steady. You've already lost, Jessica. I'm going to post these myself. I'm going to show everyone what really happened. She gasped. No, you can't. Leaned back, satisfied at the panic in her voice. Why not? You didn't have a problem smearing my name. But now that I have the truth, you're scared? Mike, please, she pleaded, voice trembling. If you do this, I'll have nothing. Smiled bitterly. That's not my problem. And with that, I hung up. The fallout. An hour later, I posted the screenshots. No captions, no explanations, just the truth. Reaction was immediate. People who had defended Jessica turned on her instantly. Holy shit. She was playing the long game. Dude, I'm so sorry. I believed her at first. I feel sick. She was literally planning to ruin your life. Jessica tried to do damage control, but it was too late. Within hours, she disappeared from social media. The phone calls stopped. Texts from mutual friends dried up. Even her own sister texted me. Sarah, she deserves everything coming to her. I'm so sorry, Mike. Jessica had tried to burn my life down. But in the end, she was the one left in ashes. And for the first time in months, maybe even years, I felt truly free. Jessica had always been a storm in my life. At first, it was exciting, passionate. She made me believe in something that wasn't real. But in the end, she was nothing more than a manipulative liar who had been playing the long game. And now, she had nothing left. Her final, desperate move. 2 days later, got one last message from her. Jessica, Mike, please, can we talk? Stared at the screen. After everything, she still thought she could weasel her way back in. Didn't apologize. Didn't even acknowledge what she'd done. Just wanted another shot at manipulating me. Didn't reply. Instead, I blocked her number, her email, every possible way she could reach me. Because I didn't need to hear another excuse. I'd wasted enough time on her, moving on. Spent the next few weeks putting my life back together. Changed my routines, focused on my work, reconnected with old friends. The ones who had believed in me from the start. And Jessica heard bits and pieces. Her affair partner, the guy she risked everything for, dumped her. Turns out, he didn't want a relationship. Just enjoyed the thrill of sneaking around. And once the thrill was gone, so was he. Jessica had burned every bridge, lost the brownstone, her reputation, and now even the guy she cheated with. And me? I walked away with my dignity intact. Jessica always thought she was the smartest person in the room, thought she could control everything, but in the end, she lost the one thing she never expected to lose. Me. Hey, let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.